that city country gap that exists in the country. And you talk about a little bit of how that might not be necessarily a very good thing for us as a nation.
Yeah, you look at the research on so it goes back to that 150 number we were talking about. And this research basically found that the lower the population density of a place, the more likely people are to be happy. So you look at depression rates, and the most depressed people tend to be in the most densely populated cities. Like they did this analysis of 318 cities in the US, and New York was dead last because it's the most population dense. And it seems that the human brain really likes to have not be, packed with people and buildings and, pavement and all this kind of stuff. We like fewer interactions with people, but more genuine interactions, I would say, right? We also know that people do well when they're exposed to nature, and there's different like levels and times of nature that lead to different benefits in the human brain. And so I think that's kind of a long way of saying the takeaway is spend more time outside with a couple people you love, and even alone.
The alone part is so key. Being comfortable being alone. It was something that was just natural for me, but for our kids growing up with these digital distractions, they're never really alone. Like I was alone reading books in my room, or going outside, reading a book outside. Like I was alone, but I was learning, and I was having these experiences through the pages of a good book. So yeah, that's what I encourage everybody to do. I try to do it as often as I possibly can. Just encourage people to put those devices aside and get into the pages of a good book.
Yeah.
It will be time well spent for
Yeah.
sure.
And you hear a lot of, stuff now about how loneliness is so bad for us. That is true. But there is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is, I want to be around people, but I can't be around anyone. Like I don't have any friends. I don't have any family, whatever. Solitude is selecting to have time alone for yourself, to just sort of think about things, to sort of learn more about yourself, to have some time to just like relax and like not have all this outward stimulation. And so, I think we do need a lot more time in solitude, and to leverage that. And you look at a lot of some of the best thinkers in history, like Abraham Lincoln, like Steve Jobs, like on and on and on. All these people would leverage these extended times in solitude to do a lot of work, to sort of do a lot of thinking, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I've never felt lonely being alone, if that makes sense. I think there are probably a lot of lonely people living in big cities where they have somebody very close by, even if it's across a wall in an apartment or whatever it might be. Or maybe they're out on the street surrounded by thousands of people and they still feel lonely. Um, so I think that's definitely a difference, feeling lonely, having that be a negative thing, than being alone and appreciating that time to think.